say thank you so much for 29 subscribers. That's crazy. When I started this channel, I did not expect to get any subscribers. I figured I was just going to be talking into the void. The fact that even 29 people were like, hell yeah, let me subscribe means a lot to me. So thank you for that. You guys are great. I hope y'all stick around and y'all enjoy the content that I make. But if you don't, it's also okay. Um, yeah, I just appreciate y'all for being here now. So, all right. Hello, everybody. I'm back again. My name is Jia-Li. This is my channel. I go over all types of shit from my testosterone journey and fitness to, I guess, artwork now. So, I wanted to start off today with a part two to how to make compelling original characters. Um, we're going to be going over more like character design today, and how to create diversity in your cast, and also like the evolution of an original character, because I have one character that I've kept with me for like the last decade, and I'm going to show how she's changed. But basically, yeah, so should be popped up on the screen now if I'm editing this correctly. But yeah, so in 2014, I made this character. I don't even remember what I used to name her. Um, I think it might have been, I think her name was Sakura. I'm pretty sure that was her name, Sakura. Like like every single 12-year-old's original character was named because of Sakura like card captor or whatever her name was. But yeah, I named my character Sakura, and this is what she used to look like. She used to have blue eyes and black hair, and she was very pale and very skinny. Um, Part of this, like, she was definitely a self-insert for me at the time. Like, I feel like self-inserts can be like a very big reflection of um, how you feel about yourself and what you personally want to change, especially when you're that young and you're making characters. Like, a lot of it is like self-fulfillment. And yeah, I had a lot of random things going on with me at the time, but specifically, I wanted to be white really bad. Um, White as in like Aryan white, like blonde hair, blue eyes. But I settled for just giving myself blue eyes when I made Sakura. And then eventually, I got a little bit older, and I started playing around with her design, kind of, but not really. Like I dyed her hair and I made her more of like a hipster. Because before I used to watch a lot of Vampire Night, and so you can kind of see the influence of the Vampire Night in this drawing that I did in 2014, with like the chains and like the outfit and stuff like that. Like I was heavy and deep in that Vampire Night fandom. But yeah, so I kind of grew away from that 2 years later in 2016, and I kind of started trying to be more hipster, more alternative, and so I made my character more alternative. You can see that like more that it's a self-insert, the more that I'm just applying things that I would want to see in myself onto this character. And like at this time, I think her storyline was, I made a joke about it before, but her storyline was essentially like she just had like the most traumatic childhood. Like I swear, I think I put like canonically in her story that her best friend gets eaten by a bear on a camping trip. I'm like dead ass. I'm pretty sure that's what I said that the storyline was. Yeah, crazy shit. But like she just has this really traumatic childhood, and then discovers she has magical powers, but she's like the best in the universe at it, and like she has like the strongest weapon. It's like they can like manifest weapons in themselves, and like each weapon that you manifest is like a reflection of how strong you are magically, and she's inherited the strongest weapon. It didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense, but that's what I had written for her. And this was her character design. And then eventually I made this character called Maximum Cross, which was definitely a knockoff of Maximum Ride. You can tell what I've been watching and what I've been reading based off the character designs and how I named them. Her name was Maximum Cross. Crazy shit. After that, I we go into 2018. This is 2 years later, and I've started playing around more with like the storyline. So this is kind of when Levi. This is the new character. I merged Maximum Cross and Sakura together, and I made this new character Levi. And this is when the character became less of a self insert and more of like an actual character, like less of somebody that I wanted to be and more somebody that I wanted to read about. So yeah, I kind of kept a lot of the main attributes that I gave her in this drawing, where like you can see she has like this horn shape that I keep throughout the rest of the drawings, and she has this red and this blue eye. Um, and she's got like these pointed ears with the gauges. Like I kept these aspects of her throughout every iteration of her character design afterwards. But as you can see, the next drawing, which is later in the year, probably like yeah, later in the year. This is I think August 25th, 2018. This was the first time that I had changed her skin tone, and honestly, I like really fucked with it after I did this. Like I was trying to um really like diversify my cast at this point. I just kind of wasn't really jiving with the fact that like every character I had was all they were all light skinned in some way, and like a lot of them were white or Asian. And I was like, it just makes no sense for me to make an entire cast of only white and Asian characters. Like I'm tired of reading stuff like that. I'm tired of watching things like that where everybody is just the exact same race, um, or they all look very similar. There's no diversity. Even though my Asian characters, like they didn't even have Asian features, they just were like canonically Asian, but they all looked like they looked. You couldn't tell them apart from the white characters, like unless they said they were Asian or their name was um was Asian. You know what I mean? So I changed her skin tone, and I was like, okay, this eats. She actually like the more that I changed her character, the more I was like, wait, no, this is like who she is. It's not it just felt more right in my soul to make her look this way. So I was like, okay, cool, like I'm heading down the right direction. So i kept I kept the darker skin tone, and it's been that way since then. But yeah, so later in the year, even more, my art style changed a little bit again, and as you can see, she still has that same horn shape. She still has that red and that blue eye. She still has the tusks and stuff like that. I don't know what the fuck she's wearing. It makes no sense for the storyline that she's in and like the setting, but I would just draw her in random clothes, um, just because I felt like it. Anyways, we go down another 2 years after this in 2020, and again, same features like red and blue eye, same horn shape and stuff like that. But I have started playing around with my art style a little bit more, so my art style kind of changed, and now I was getting more into like trying to make my art more interesting to look at. So I gave her like this like little like angry expression. Um, which I'm really happy with. Honestly, it looks good. This is probably like this 2020 era. This is probably like my favorite art era that I've ever been in. Like I just really, really love the way I was rendering hair and the way I was rendering skin and just the way everything looked. Like I'm trying to get right back into that era because I really like the way that this art looks. And but yeah, so this was kind of what I was doing at the time. Honestly, I still really, really mess with the way that this looks. So I have nothing else to say. And then I drew her again later in the year. Again, same idea, same kind of like tusk situation, same red and blue eye, but it's like a more simplified style. I've also changed her body type in the time being. She used to be very tall and skinny, and now I've made her a short and stocky. So she's kind of got like these like more buff shoulders, and like her body shape is a little bit curvier. But she's much shorter now. It just has more to do with her character and like what she does in her story. Like it wouldn't make any sense for her to be tall and skinny now that I've changed the story a bunch, just because like in this new iteration of the story, the most recent version of it, she's like a festival dragon dancer. So it's like her job is to like be carrying these giant mechanical dragons on top of her, and like jumping around and like dancing and stuff like that. And it just didn't make any sense for her to be super skinny while doing that. Like she's doing this all the time, practicing all the time. Like she's gonna be more muscular, she's gonna be more buff because she's carrying these big ass heavy contraptions on top of her, and like dancing a lot and working out a lot. So I changed her body type to fit that, and I am still really happy with the way that she looks, and I haven't really changed her design much since then. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the evolution of Levi. You can kind of see how she's evolved over time and how my taste and my style has changed as well. I just personally don't like making white OCs as much anymore. I feel like there's an oversaturation of those now, and I would much prefer making characters for people that are underrepresented. Like I kind of want that to be what my account is about and what my artwork is about, is like giving representation to underrepresented people and making people feel seen and making people feel heard, and like just like because growing up, I didn't really see a lot of characters that looked like me or felt like me. Um, and I want to do that for other people because I feel like there's something very cathartic about looking at something that somebody else made who isn't you and being like, wow, I really resonate with this character, or wow, I see myself in this character. Whether it's in their personality or the way they look and things like that. Like it to me, I I just, as a writer and an artist, that's the energy that I want to put out, and that's how I want people to feel when they read and look at my artwork. And you can have different motives for what you want to be doing with your artwork and what you want to be doing with your characters, but that's just how I personally am. And if that's how you personally feel too, then this is a good video for you. Because I'll be continuing to talk about how to diversify your cast next. So after this, I have some pictures of my feed from way back when on Instagram, and then a little bit more recently. And I made some notes over here about the differences between them. But as you can see, like everybody tends to be pretty pretty white. I'm suffering from same face syndrome a lot, where except for this freaky ass drawing, I don't know. This freaky ass drawing. I don't know why I did it. These are characters I used to have, but I don't draw them anymore. Um, yeah, everybody looks the exact same, honestly. Like if I just changed the hair and gave them different accessories, but their faces generally all look about the same. And they all look to be like the same race, and overall it's just not like super appealing to look at. To me personally, it's not super appealing to look at. Like the artwork isn't objectively bad, it's just that it's boring to look at. um, and my style was undeveloped, and you can see that it like changes from post to post, and that wasn't intentional. That was just me not having a style that I liked. um, And then in the more recent one, you can see, and it's not like a super good example because I drew the same character a bunch of times and posted them in this screenshot, but you can see that there is more diversity in the artwork that I'm posting. Like there's different types of poses, there's character sheets. Um, like I'm finally drawing men that look like men, and like and they don't look like men just because they have like this big jawline and they look more muscular and there's no boobs or anything. Like you can masculinize your characters without doing those things. That's just, I'm trying to give an example of like the man in this post looks more like a man than here, and it just, my style has developed in a way where like I can accentuate these features a little bit more. Um, but yeah, like even the skin types, like I'm drawing different skin types now, different hair textures. My character designs are getting more interesting, where there's like different hair types, different hair cuts, different body types. I'm playing around with my style more. I have like this like really blocky lineless style that I used to do, and I still really like it. I probably want to bring it back eventually, but yeah. And then I have this drawing right here. Like it's just more appealing to look at, and I guess that's kind of like the thing that I'm trying to show, is that like when you have more diversity in your artwork and your composition, your character designs, your um, just your feed in general, like it just is more appealing to look at because it'll get redundant if you just have the same thing, same pose, same character over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be drawing the same character, you should be drawing them in different outfits or drawing them in different poses or different expressions or different scenes or all kinds of stuff, to diversify your feed and diversify your artwork a little bit more. Because if you're just drawing like if I just drew a character in this angle over and over and over and over and over again, which is kind of what I used to do, it does get tiring to look at, and it should also get boring to draw that over and over and over again. You know, you should be wanting to improve all the time. But yeah, so that's the difference between the feeds. And then I'm gonna show some examples of when I first started drawing people with different skin tones. This was probably the very first the very first time that I had drawn a character with a darker skin tone, and I'm honestly still really happy with it. Like I love the accessories that I gave her. I still really like the way that I did the hair. Um, Her face is super cute, and the skin tone, like I'm really happy I didn't wash her out because that's something that I feel like a lot of beginner artists make a mistake with is when they're making characters of darker skin tones, they tend to like try to paint them with the same techniques and colors that they do for white people or lighter skinned people, and it doesn't really translate that well. You can end up washing the characters out. You kind of have to readjust the way that you paint and the way that you draw um, darker skinned people. Like you have to readjust a lot. Like there's just like different things to like really, you want your artwork to be readable. You want it to, like if you're drawing like an Asian person, you want it to be readable like within a first glance, like, oh, this character is Asian. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be like, oh, like they have to like know context to know that your character is Asian. Unless your style is like that, then that's just your style. But if you have an art style where it's more easy to like translate actual features, you should be finding a way to do that. But yeah, I still really like this drawing. Um, I don't know what the accessories are, but they're still really cute. I think I remember when I was doing this piece, it was I was doing like different worlds for Levi's character story. Like I'm pretty sure it was like different worlds, each have like a different race, and so I was trying to draw different races, and like it was me challenging myself to draw different races for the first time. And it took me a long time, obviously. It took me until like 2019 to finally be like, okay, let me draw different races because I just always felt too insecure and not very like confident. Um, and I got really, really comfortable where I was at, just drawing skinny white people all the time. And if you're in that phase too, I really urge you to just take the leap and be okay making mistakes, but being conscious of like the way that you're drawing other races and being respectful and doing your research, making sure you're not accidentally making caricatures, which is something that I have to keep saying because it's just like it's very important. But yeah, first time drawing somebody of a different race, still think this drawing is really good. I did a good job for my first time. Um, and then after this, I started playing around with again. I'm like doing this hair texture and I'm trying to play around with drawing like more plus size people, like curvier body types. And I still really like this drawing too. Like I think I did a good job. I think she looks really pretty. I think that she looks really good. I did good on the proportions in this drawing. Overall, it's just like a pretty good drawing that I did for like a first couple times again, and I didn't wash her out in this drawing either. I feel like it's a pretty like it's like a very sketchy drawing, so I can't sit here and like really pick apart the rendering very much because it was pretty low effort. But again, like you can see, I'm not like washing out her skin tone by doing like a bunch of blues or anything in her skin because it just wouldn't make any sense. It's more like dark reds, kind of like some purple colors, to really like bring out that deep reddish brown that her skin tone is, just to complement it. But yeah, after this, I'm practicing even more. Like I'm trying to get better at drawing black people and like learning how to draw their noses and like figuring out how that looks proportionally so it's not like crazy, but I'm trying to make it to where like they're readable. Like when you look at the drawing, you can notice like, oh, this character is black. Um, and again, I'm practicing this hair. I'm figuring out how I want to render like more like coily textures. And yeah, overall, I still really like this drawing too. This next one, I'm not like super proud of. She's Southeast Asian, but I don't feel like it's very readable in this drawing. Um, this character, I don't remember much about her. I believe her name was like Durga, and forgive me if I can't even pronounce the name right, but um, yeah, I feel like I could have pushed her features more to like really highlight her ethnic features and like give that vibe that she is Southeast Asian. And I could have like accessorized or done certain things in her character design to give that off too. But I'm still really proud of the way that I rendered her skin. Like, again, I'm not washing her out. She's got a very warm skin tone. It looks really good, looks very like lifelike to me. So overall rendering looks great to me. I'm pretty happy with the rendering, but just overall the drawing itself, I'm like, could have put more effort. Could have put more effort because I feel like if I changed her skin tone, she could easily just be white. If you know what I mean? And that's kind of something that I try to like steer away from when I'm making characters. Is like I want it to be like noticeable when you change the skin tone that it doesn't necessarily look right, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, so moving on to the next one is me diversifying my body types that I'm drawing. Um, Now I'm doing more plus size people, and I want you to like when you're drawing plus size people, you can't just like make the proportions bigger. Like the body when it gains weight, you have to study the way that the skin folds and the way that um people's bodies like people gain weight differently. So it's good to study different types of plus size people because everybody carries weight very differently, and you can be the same weight and even relatively look the same and carry weight very differently. um, and you want to be again like you want to be respectful when you're making different types of people and be respectful when you're making plus size people because again plus size people also tend to be the butt of the joke and drawn very poorly, and they're usually in media like shown to be like these ugly people and like drawn like caricatures too. Um, and that's just like not something that I want to be doing. I don't want to contribute to that. And so I take time to like really understand like how people's bodies carry weight and like how their fat folds and properly drawing them so they feel represented and they feel like these characters aren't made to like make fun of them. They're just made to look like them. And that's kind of the vibe that I want to be giving off. That's the energy that I want to be putting out with my artwork. So yeah, getting more diversity in my artwork and my body types and practicing more with studying different types of anatomy and different types of way people carry their weight. And then after that, I have like this character sheet that I made just to kind of exemplify what I meant by like diversifying your cast to make it more appealing to look at. Um, like you can see, I've changed like everybody's height is different. They all have pretty different body types except for Bonnie and Amy. Um, like we have Anya, who you saw in the last post. She's more plus size. She's definitely curvy, so she's got like bigger legs, bigger arms. She's got a little gut, like a little tummy over here. She's got bigger breasts. She's got like a rounder face, but it's very cute to me. I think she's like a super cute character. Um, and then we have Bonnie, who's she's a little bit more stocky, I would say. She's definitely super muscular. She's got super muscular, big legs, big like muscular arms, but she's got more like visibly, she just has more fat on her than Amy does. Like Amy is super lean, super tall, super muscular. She's got these like huge, broad shoulders and like she's got pretty small breasts and stuff like that and a small waist. Um, and then we have Huang Li, who is like a classic runner, where she's got like some pretty like muscular, shapely legs, but overall she tends to be pretty thin. Um, and yeah, just like studying different body types. Like you want to study different body types because that will translate to people what your character does and like their kind of lifestyle that they live. And you want those things to be readable and like subconsciously taken note of when people look at your character. Like when people see a character that's like super athletic, super fit, they're gonna be like, oh, this person works out a lot or they do a lot of labor. And it wouldn't make sense for you to make like a super jacked, super ripped character who like never works out, doesn't do any labor, they're super lazy. And so if that's the case, then why are they randomly like super jacked? Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Um, which is what I hate. Like people will draw like super cliche for people to make web comics, and there's like a nerdy guy who's like super nerdy. He never goes out. He's super introverted. He just stays home and he plays video games all day, and then he takes off his shirt and he's got like a six pack. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Um, and yeah, and then I also have a drawing that I have of them when I adjusted it so they're all the same height, and it just like isn't as fun to look at. Like genuinely, this is just not as interesting to look at. And the other one, their heights kind of like guide your eye to like look at every character individually rather than just going straight across. It just makes for a more interesting thing to look at. Like it's just like I can't stress that enough. Like it's just more interesting to look at different types of people and different character designs. If they all look the same, people are like your eyes are people have very short attention spans now, and people are gonna get tired of looking at it because they're like, oh, like their brain's just gonna register it and be like, oh, they all look the same. Like it's gonna be a split second decision where like, oh, they all look the same. They're gonna take less time to look at your artwork. So you want to be diversifying body types, heights, facial features, um, all kinds of things. Like I even made this post a little bit better because I made all of their poses different. Like Anya has her little hand on her hip, Bonnie's got her hands at fists on her side, Amy has her hands on her hips, Huang Li has her arms crossed. Like there's different things going on in the drawing that make people want to keep looking at the picture because they're like, oh, this is different, this is different, this is different. Like your brain's gonna look at everything that's different and it's gonna skip over everything that looks the same. That's just how it is. So moving on, I'm just like practicing drawing different body types. Like I have Bonnie again, and this time I'm taking more care to like really show off her body type. Like she's got a little bit of pudge on her stomach. She's got a happy trail. She's got really muscular arms, but she's still got these like rolls on her body. And I remember when I posted this post actually kind of blew up a little bit. It's one of my more popular posts. And people in the comments were all being like, oh, it makes me so happy to see this character because um like I have the same body type and it's I never get to see myself drawn like this before, and like it makes me feel a lot better about how I look, and like that was so big for me. That meant so much to me, like genuinely. Um and so like I said before, like people will really appreciate it if they can tell that you're putting in effort and you're trying to represent them and show more people like representation for them, if that makes sense. Like people really do appreciate it, they notice it, it doesn't go unnoticed. um so yeah, that's how to diversify your cast. Those are all my feelings and opinions about drawing characters and making them look more compelling and look more interesting, and how you can make a more interesting Instagram feed. um I know this was a lot of me talking and a lot of me just kind of rambling on and on and on and going through the pictures and stuff like that, but I feel like this stuff was important and it's a good foundation for you to have before I show you how to like really draw any of this stuff. Like these are things that you should be thinking about when you're making your art regardless. And then in the future, I'll probably do a post where I show you like how to draw plus size people and how to draw more muscular people. But ultimately, those things also can come to you through practice, like just using references and practicing. So you can obviously you can wait until I make the video, but I urge you to do your own research and your own practice in the meantime. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll have a great day. Until next time.